Every single day, you're leaking energy, and the worst part, you don't even notice. You scroll, you stress, you argue, you people, please, and somewhere, something is feeding on your exhaustion. Let me ask you, why do you feel more tired after 10 minutes on your phone than an hour of physical labor? Why do certain people leave you feeling drained, like your soul took a beating? It's not just life, it's theft. You're not just losing energy, your energy is being harvested, and if you don't wake up now, you'll never get it back. Stay with me till the end of this talk, because I'll show you how to build a shield so strong no one and nothing can steal from you again. Think about it. Why do companies fight for your attention? Why do people provoke you for a reaction? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. You are being mined, like data, like oil, except the mine is your mind. Energy thieves come in many forms. The friend, who always brings problems, the app that pulls you in for hours, the news designed to provoke fear and outrage. They don't take your wallet. They take your focus, your peace, and your power. Not all energy thieves are obvious. Some praise you to control you. Some love you to own you. Some entertain you to addict you. Their smiles are weapons. Your weakness is unawareness. Do you feel emotionally exhausted after social media, unmotivated after certain conversations, drained in environments that should energize you? That's not random. That's spiritual fatigue. You are not broken. You're being bled dry. Here is the truth. No one can steal your energy. If you learn to control your inner world, stillness is the sword, breath is the armor, awareness is the gatekeeper. You must control your reactions, guard your presence, train your mind. The more still you are inside, the less chaos can touch you. You don't protect your energy once. You protect it every day through rituals, through breath, through boundaries. You don't ask for peace. You become peace. Then nothing can take it from you. In the past, people fought over gold, land, and oil. Wars were waged for control of territory and tangible resources. But times have changed. In today's world, energy is the new currency. Not electrical energy, your mental focus, your emotional reactions, your time, your attention. These are the most valuable assets you possess, and they're being harvested every single day. Look around. Every app you open, every ad you scroll past, every headline that stirs up fear or outrage, all of it is designed with one goal: to capture your energy, not for your benefit, not to empower you, but to extract from you. The more distracted you are, the more predictable you are. The more predictable you are, the more controllable you become. Companies don't compete for your money first. They compete for your attention. Because where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, behavior follows. Your decisions, your habits, your beliefs, all of them are being shaped by what you focus on. And that focus is being bought and sold like a commodity. But this doesn't just apply to businesses. People do it too. Ever notice how some individuals always seem to create drama around themselves? They aren't just chaotic. They're feeding off your reaction. When you respond with anger, pity, guilt, or anxiety, you're feeding their world with your energy. They walk away recharged. You walk away drained. Now here's the brutal truth. You are not tired because you did too much. You're tired because too much of you has been given away. You've let invisible hands siphon off your power day after day, through your phone, your conversations, your environment. Every moment you don't choose where your energy goes, someone else will choose for you. This is why the most powerful people in the world aren't always the richest or the most famous. They're the ones who know how to protect their energy. They don't allow every notification, every argument, every emotional impulse to dictate how they feel. They've trained themselves to become energy investors, not energy spenders. They use it with precision. They choose their focus deliberately. Understand this: energy doesn't lie. You can't fake clarity, discipline, or purpose, because energy always reveals the truth. When your energy is scattered, it's a sign your attention is being hijacked. When your energy is low despite rest, it's a sign that your internal boundaries are weak. When your energy is easily disrupted, it's a sign you've given away your power. And here's what's most dangerous. You don't get a receipt. No one tells you, hey, thanks for the 3 hours of mindless scrolling, or appreciate you spending your entire day reacting to drama that doesn't improve your life. The theft is silent. It feels like your choice, but it isn't. It's carefully engineered. You're being manipulated not always maliciously, but consistently, and the cost isn't in dollars. It's in direction, in lost potential. In days and years you'll never get back. So what can you do? Start by realizing that your energy is sacred. It's not for everyone. Not every conversation deserves a response. Not every fight is yours to join. Not every event requires your presence. You have the right, the responsibility to guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your energy dictates how you live, how you lead, how you love, and what you leave behind. It shapes the quality of your thoughts, the strength of your actions, and the direction of your destiny. When you learn to control where your energy goes, you take back control of your entire life. So yes, energy is the new currency. But unlike money, you can't earn more of it from the outside. You generate it from within, and once you master where it flows, no one can use you without your permission again. Most people walk through life wondering why they feel so tired, so mentally scattered, so emotionally unstable even after getting enough sleep, eating well, or taking breaks. But what they don't realize is this: they are being drained and they don't even know it. Their energy is being pulled from them quietly, invisibly, every single day. It doesn't always come in the form of obvious stress. In fact, the most dangerous form of energy theft is the subtle kind, the kind that disguises itself as normal. A 5-minute conversation that leaves you emotionally wrecked. A harmless scroll through social media that somehow steals 2 hours and fills your mind with comparison, anxiety, and agitation. A casual message from someone who doesn't want to talk, they want to feed off your reaction. These aren't coincidences. These are extractions. We live in an overstimulated world, but overstimulation isn't just noise, it's a trap. It's designed to keep your attention fragmented, your emotions reactive, and your energy scattered. You're constantly being baited by content, by people, by environments to give pieces of yourself away, not physically, but energetically. And the catch is, the more you give away unconsciously, the less of you remains. That's why no amount of sleep fixes your exhaustion. That's why a vacation brings temporary relief, but not lasting peace. That's why you can feel depleted even if you did nothing all day. Because it wasn't your body that worked hard, it was your mind and spirit being drained in the background, like an app running silently on your phone, sucking the battery dry. Sometimes the people closest to us are the worst culprits, not always with bad intent, but with bad habits. Some people don't talk to connect, they talk to dump. They release their emotional baggage and walk away lighter, while you walk away heavier. You leave the interaction feeling confused, irritable, or suddenly unmotivated, and you can't quite explain why. That's because they didn't take your time, they took your life force, and what makes it worse is that you've been conditioned to think this is just part of being a good person. Be available, be nice, be understanding, but in truth, being constantly available makes you emotionally bankrupt. Always being the nice one often makes you the easiest target, because energy thieves don't need permission, they just need access. And the more open your energetic doors are, the more you attract those who survive by feeding off what you're giving away for free. It's important to understand that your energy is your responsibility. If you don't track it, guard it, or direct it, someone else will. The world has no problem using you until you have nothing left to give, then moving on to the next source. And that's not cruelty. It's just how systems work. Attention-based algorithms, toxic people, manipulative environments, they all feed on the same thing: your unconscious participation. And here's the part most people miss: energy theft doesn't always feel bad at first. It often feels good: validation from strangers, a quick dopamine hit from a viral video, gossip that makes you feel in the loop, drama that gives you a rush of excitement. But those quick highs come with long lows. What starts as a moment of entertainment or connection often ends in long-term depletion, and by the time you realize it, your inner tank is already running on empty. You don't need to be paranoid, you need to be aware. Begin by noticing how you feel after interactions, after scrolling, after certain environments. Do you feel recharged or do you feel drained? Do you feel inspired or do you feel foggy? That feedback is your truth. That is your inner compass screaming for your attention, because the reality is this: you're either consciously directing your energy or it's being unconsciously taken from you. There is no middle ground. Life doesn't wait for you to figure it out. The drain continues until you decide to shut the valves. So if you ever find yourself feeling inexplicably exhausted, unmotivated, anxious, or simply off, don't just look at what you've done physically. Look at what you've allowed energetically. That's where the leak is. And until you identify it and stop it, no amount of rest or routine will restore you. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're being drained. And now that you know, you can finally begin to take your energy back. When people hear the word energy thief, they often imagine something obvious: someone toxic, aggressive, or outwardly negative. Someone who yells, manipulates, or visibly drains the room. But the truth is far more dangerous. Not all energy thieves look evil. In fact, many of them appear friendly. They come with a smile, a soft voice, or even a helping hand. But beneath the surface, their intentions are not to uplift you, they are to feed off you. The most effective energy drainers are the ones you don't recognize. They don't steal with force, they steal with charm. They make you feel like you owe them your time, your attention, your emotions. They wrap you in guilt. They disguise their dependency as affection. They mask their control as concern. And because they're not hostile, you don't notice the slow leak happening in your soul. Some energy thieves come as the needy friend, the one who's always in a crisis, who always needs to talk, who always pulls you into their emotional storms. They never ask if you're available. They never consider your state of mind. Because to them, you're a source, not a person. You exist to stabilize them, fix them, listen to them, and comfort them. But when you need the same in return, they vanish. Why? Because energy thieves withdraw, but rarely deposit. Others appear as the overly helpful, the ones who give endlessly, but with invisible strings attached. At first, you feel grateful, supported, seen, but slowly, you notice that their help comes with expectations, control, and emotional debt. If you don't respond the way they want, they act hurt, offended, or disappointed. It's not support, it's a transaction, and the currency is your emotional compliance. There are energy thieves who disguise themselves as mentors, not to guide you, but to keep you beneath them. They'll flatter you just enough to keep you close, but never enough to see you rise. They want your admiration, your dependence, your loyalty, not your empowerment. They drain your confidence subtly, questioning your instincts, planting doubt in your decisions, and slowly rewiring you to seek their approval. The more you lean on them, the weaker you become. And perhaps the most dangerous of all are those who entertain you into powerlessness. These are the distractions that wear a smile, endless content, emotional roller coasters, things that feel good in the moment but leave you empty afterward. They don't look evil. They are funny, exciting, even addictive. But over time, you're left numb, distracted, and disconnected from your purpose. These forms of energy theft are not violent, they're voluntary, and that's why they're so effective, because you agree to them without resistance. Recognizing these subtle thieves requires brutal honesty with yourself. It means stepping back and asking, why do I feel drained after talking to this person? Why do I feel anxious after that message, that meeting, that post? Why does something that should feel supportive feel heavy instead? You begin to realize that the danger was never the obvious attacks, it was the silent erosion of your boundaries. The small moments when you gave too much, tolerated too long, or allowed someone access to parts of you they hadn't earned. It's important to remember, energy thieves don't always know they're stealing. Many are just operating from wounds, survival patterns, or emotional immaturity, but whether intentional or not, the effect on you is the same depletion, and your job is not to fix them, it's to protect you. That means setting clearer boundaries, not just physical, but emotional and energetic. It means learning to say no without guilt, to step back without explanation, to cut cords without drama. It means valuing your peace over someone else's comfort. Because if someone only values you when they can feed off you, then they were never aligned with your well-being in the first place. So stop looking for villains in shadows. Start paying attention to the soft voices, the smiling faces, the constant demands wrapped in affection. Not everyone who is kind is nourishing. Not everyone who stays close is safe. And not everyone who offers you love is giving it freely. Some are trading it for control, compliance, or energy. The world won't always protect you from these people. That's your job. Your awareness is your shield. Your self-respect is your defense. And once you learn to recognize the sweet faces behind the silent theft, you reclaim the power that was always yours. There's a hidden price you pay every day when your energy goes unprotected, and it's higher than you think. You may not see it immediately, but it's always there, collecting interest. One day it looks like constant fatigue. The next, it shows up as a lack of motivation, burnout, emotional instability, or a life that just feels off course. That's the cost of leaving your energy exposed in a world that's constantly trying to take it. The first and most common symptom is chronic tiredness, and not the kind that sleep fixes. It's a heaviness that sits inside your bones. You wake up and feel like you've already fought a battle you don't remember having. Even on your best days, something feels drained. You've rested your body, but your spirit never stopped bleeding. That's because rest doesn't repair what energy leaks have destroyed. Without protection, your energy is in a constant state of defense, reacting to everything, absorbing everything, and slowly crumbling under the weight of unfiltered stimulation. Then comes mental fog. You can't think clearly. You second-guess yourself. Your focus slips like water through your fingers. The things you used to enjoy feel like chores. You lose clarity not because you're incapable, but because your energy is scattered in too many directions. Every distraction, every unguarded interaction, every unnecessary engagement has pulled a thread from your mental fabric, and now your mind feels like a loose weave with holes everywhere. Unprotected energy creates chaos in the mind because it invites everything in without filtering what belongs and what doesn't. Emotionally, the cost is even heavier. You become more reactive. Small things trigger big responses. You find yourself more sensitive, more defensive, or more numb. You either feel everything too deeply or nothing at all. That's not because you're broken, it's because you're overloaded. You've taken on emotions that aren't even yours. Energy moves like water. It flows from person to person, space to space. And when you don't have energetic boundaries, you absorb pain, fear, anger, and anxiety from everything around you. That emotional weight doesn't just disappear, it settles inside you, shaping your moods, your thoughts, and your behavior. And then there's the deeper cost, the slow erosion of your purpose. You lose your sense of direction. You start to question your passions, your goals, your relationships, not because they've lost value, but because you no longer have the energy to pursue them. It's hard to build a meaningful life when you're in survival mode all the time. When your energy is constantly being stolen or spent without return, you're left with nothing to fuel your growth. Dreams require energy. Discipline requires energy. Healing requires energy. And when you're running on empty, all of that comes to a stop. Slowly, silently, and sometimes permanently. The world doesn't announce when you're being drained. It doesn't give you warnings or alarms. The cost comes in silence. It shows up in moments when you no longer feel like yourself, when you can't remember the last time you felt truly alive, grounded, or excited. It shows up when peace feels like a luxury, not a right. When you've normalized chaos to the point that stillness feels uncomfortable, that is the true danger of unprotected energy, not just the loss of strength, but the loss of self. And the longer you go unprotected, the more normalized the damage becomes. You start to think this is just how life is. You blame your age, your job, your luck, but the truth is much deeper. Life isn't supposed to feel like a constant drain. That feeling isn't life, it's a signal. A warning, a call to wake up and start guarding the very thing that makes life worth living, your energy. You don't need to fight the world. You don't need to escape everything or everyone. You just need to stop giving unlimited access to what's most sacred within you. Your peace, your clarity, your presence. The cost of leaving them unguarded is too high. You've already paid enough, because when your energy is unprotected, you pay with your time, your joy, your mind, your relationships, your purpose, even your health. But when you start protecting it, something incredible happens. Your clarity returns, your strength rebuilds, your passions reignite. You begin to remember who you are and what you came here to do. And once you remember that, you'll never let it slip away again. You can't protect what you're not aware of, and that's where most people go wrong, not because they're weak, but because they're unaware. They go through life feeling tired, anxious, or off balance without ever stopping to ask, where is my energy going? The truth is, you're not just losing energy, you're leaking it constantly. And the first step to reclaiming your power is to notice where it's going in the first place. Awareness is the beginning of all transformation. You can't set boundaries, you can't cut cords, and you can't heal what you don't first identify. So start observing your day with brutal honesty. How do you feel after talking to certain people? Do you feel lighter, clearer, more grounded? Or do you feel tense, confused, and depleted? Energy doesn't lie. Your body and mind will always tell you the truth if you're willing to listen. Most people have been trained to ignore their internal signals. We've been taught to prioritize politeness over presence, to keep peace with others while creating war within ourselves. That's why awareness is so powerful, it breaks the spell. It forces you to look at everything you've been tolerating, everything that's been silently stealing from you, everything you've been giving energy to that gives you nothing in return. That moment of recognition is the turning point. Because once you see the leak, you conceal it. Awareness is not a passive process, it's a discipline. It means paying attention to how environments affect you. The places you spend time in, the sounds, the lighting, the energy in the room, all of it either nourishes or drains you. You have to train yourself to walk into a space and feel its impact. If you leave a place feeling heavier than when you entered, something in that environment was misaligned with your energy. That's not something to ignore. That's information. That's your guidance system trying to protect you. It also means becoming aware of your digital environment. Your phone, your feeds, your messages, they are not neutral. Every image you see, every video you watch, every word you read, it's all input. And input becomes internal. So ask yourself, is what I'm consuming giving me power or taking it away? Does it make me feel expansive, inspired, and centered? Or does it make me feel anxious, distracted, and small? You are what you repeatedly give your attention to, and attention is energy in its purest form. Then there's the inner awareness, the most important of all, your thoughts, your emotions, your internal dialogue. Many people live their entire lives reacting to their thoughts as if they are truth. But not every thought deserves your belief. Not every emotion deserves your investment. Just because something arises inside you doesn't mean it belongs to you. Energy can be inherited, absorbed, or conditioned. Awareness means learning to observe without attaching, to sit with discomfort without being consumed by it, to recognize a trigger without giving it control. This kind of awareness creates space, and in that space, you begin to gain power, the power to choose, to respond instead of react, to withdraw instead of absorb, to protect instead of leak. And every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you reclaim another piece of your energy. Start small, one interaction, one thought, one decision. Pay attention. Does this serve me? Does this support my peace? Does this align with who I'm becoming? The more often you ask, the sharper your awareness becomes. And soon, you'll be able to feel the energy shift in a conversation, in a space, in yourself before it even becomes visible. That's when protection becomes effortless, because awareness does the guarding for you. The most powerful people are not the loudest. They are the most aware. They don't need to fight for energy because they don't allow it to be taken. They know what depletes them. They know what strengthens them. And they make choices accordingly. So if you truly want to protect your energy, don't start with shields or defenses. Start with awareness, because the more clearly you can see, the more powerfully you can protect. And once you become aware of what you've been giving away, you'll stop handing your power to things that never deserved it in the first place. There is no switch you flip once to protect your energy forever. No one-time ritual, no magic technique, no shortcut. The truth is, permanent protection is a daily practice, something you commit to over and over, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one sees it, especially when it's hardest to do. The world will always try to pull you into noise, conflict, comparison, and chaos. The only way to stay rooted is to build habits that preserve your energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Protecting your energy isn't about hiding from the world. It's about showing up strong, clear, and grounded, and that strength doesn't come from armor. It comes from discipline. You have to choose your peace before you leave your house, before you open your phone, before you respond to the world. Because once you're out there, the pulls will begin: someone else's anxiety, someone else's urgency, a headline designed to trigger you, a conversation meant to pull you into old versions of yourself. You have to meet the world with inner structure, or it will structure you. Start your day by returning to yourself. Even if it's 5 minutes, sit in silence, breathe, ask yourself what kind of energy you want to carry, and what you need to release before you begin. This isn't about being spiritual, it's about being intentional. You are the gatekeeper of your field. If you don't open the gate with awareness, you open it by default, and default settings always serve someone else's agenda, not your highest self. Throughout your day, pause, check in. Are you aligned or are you being pulled? Is this conversation uplifting or draining? Is this thought pattern empowering or limiting? Don't wait until you crash to realize you've been leaking. Build the habit of scanning yourself like you would scan a dashboard in a car. Are you running hot? Is something blinking red? These small check-ins recalibrate your system before damage occurs. That's real protection prevention. You also need boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. Don't mistake access for connection. Just because someone calls doesn't mean you must answer. Just because a notification pops up doesn't mean you must check it. Just because a thought enters doesn't mean it deserves your focus. The discipline of non-response is one of the most powerful tools for energetic protection. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every feeling needs to be followed. Protecting your energy means knowing when to engage and when to let it pass. Movement is part of the practice too. Your body holds energy, and stagnant energy becomes toxicity. Stretch, walk, train, breathe, deeply move your body to release what doesn't belong. Don't underestimate the power of a single conscious breath or a moment of stillness. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. They are the anchors that keep you from drifting away from yourself. End your day like you started it by returning home to your inner space. Close the day with intention. Reflect on what drained you and what fueled you. Let go of what you absorbed but didn't need. You don't need to carry everything to sleep. You don't need to let your day bleed into your rest. Let it go. That's part of the practice too, releasing before resetting. The truth is, nothing in life stays protected unless it is maintained. Just like your health, your home, your mind, your energy requires care. It requires you to show up for yourself with consistency, not perfection. Some days you'll forget. Some days you'll fall into old habits. That's okay. Awareness returns you. Intention realigns you. You begin again, and that is the practice. That's how protection becomes permanent, not by force but by repetition. Over time, this way of living becomes your default. You start noticing your shifts faster. You recover quicker. You move through the world with more clarity, more resilience, more quiet strength. You no longer give yourself away piece by piece. You hold yourself whole. And from that place, you don't just protect your energy, you begin to radiate it. You become the calm in the chaos. You become the mirror that shows others what's possible when you live rooted in your own power. And once you live from that place consistently, you won't just protect your energy. You'll elevate it permanently.